Hey guys, Flabaliki here today and welcome back to Cities Skylines. This is definitely becoming more of a trend than not. We're doing another little time lapse. Well, I say little, this one's a bit longer. It's about 17 minutes 50, so if you want to skip it, go ahead. But I thought this was kind of necessary to do this episode because, again, we just need to get a lot more suburban, I should say, suburban sprawl. So I get a lot more suburbs, and you guys are quite happy with the idea of having the tram also running down from North Sedona all the way through to Sunnyside, which I'm doing right now, and this turned out to be a little bit of a challenge to do. I was gonna attempt running it over the bridge, but then I realized we'd lose the look of the bridge. Like the supports for the bridge would change if we used the other road. So I decided to just do a separate tram road sort of running through the middle of the bridge and actually use all these sort of dedicated tram road pieces. Well, not tram road. I don't know what tram tracks I should just say. It probably makes more sense. So it's actually really cool. So it runs above all these roads, runs all the way through to Sunnyside, and it goes through and connects to the existing tram tracks here, runs all the way down this road, which through Strawberry, which we actually develop a little bit later on in this time lapse as well. So it goes up to this train station all the way in North Sedona, the industrial area, which I thought was pretty cool. I had to redo some of the roads there to make it all work properly. And then this rail, I was like, how do I get this? So I wanted it to stop at that train station there, which is a really weird position. Ever since we built it, the more we've built up this area, the stranger and stranger that train station has become, because we have this highway running through the area that just turns into a regular road, which has now got a lot of traffic on it, and it's got this train station just stuck on the other side of it, which is strange and doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think we probably should go back through that area and redevelop it at some point, probably just raise the highway off the ground or something so it's not in the way anymore. I don't know. I think that's something we have to consider at some point. But just running this tram line up through Sunnyside, just doing a little loop up the top here, so it can turn around and come back again. Because I was gonna have it run down that sort of main avenue in Sunnyside, but it didn't really make much sense. So anyway, so we're coming through West Sedona, which is the area that has this sort of split highway that's at ground level, and that actually worked really well to just do a couple of tram stops on there. And then we just sort of turn around at the top there, giving it a nice new color. I thought I should probably start coloring my tram lines a little bit more than they are. But now just going through this area, I keep looking at this area here with the train line, and it looks so blank. There's just so much grass there with nothing on it, which is not a problem. It could just be a park, but I mean, it used to be a park, but I think it used to make more sense when it was not this huge bridge going over the top. We added this huge railway that goes over the top, and it almost seems like I don't really want that to be a park space. So I just added a bunch of trees, and we're sort of just developing the area a little bit more as well. I was trying to find a nice building to go under here, but I didn't actually really have anything that I liked. I feel like there should be some sort of big warehousey thing. And I almost wanted to put in that big factory set over in that area, because I thought it could be kind of cool, this sort of I guess sort of harking back to Sunnyside's past, this big factory that maybe isn't really functional anymore, even though it is, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. Anyway, so I decided to add this little laneway in the middle so we could actually get some zoning through the area there too, because that also kind of felt like it should probably be a little bit more developed now. It made sense when it was like a small town in the middle of nowhere, but now it's almost becoming part of the main city area. The whole city is expanding. We're getting a lot more suburbs through the area. And that's what we're doing here as well, up through Strawberry and North Sedona. We're adding a lot more roads and housing. We got this whole area up here, which basically becomes developed by the end of this time lapse, I believe. I don't know how much of it I show. I do a lot of stuff here though. A lot of stuff goes on. And I'm just trying to, you can see I'm just trying to figure out, what do I do? So we got a lot of residential demand. A lot of people want to move into the city, and actually, they love it. They do love it. And so we got this tram line there at the moment, which is pretty much currently is not really being used. So it's as soon as we start developing this area, there's going to be more people leaving from this area and coming back to it. But I thought I'd build almost a little school complex type thing over here, because we've got the baseball field, we've got the tennis court, and we've got a basketball court, and then the sort of indoor track center. I thought it'd be a really good sort of athletic area, and then we just chuck in a couple of elementary school, and then we do one of the big high schools, because we finally have space for that, because we've been trying to use them. But in the city area, it's always been way too big. But we've got a lot of room over here, so it's quite good. And I decided to turn this road sort of here that I'm upgrading now into almost like a main road, something that I expect a lot of traffic to use, because I almost want to draw traffic away from the tram road and get them to use that as well. And it actually does become fairly used later on as a connection point, which is nice. And it totally works just fine, which I'm really quite happy with. So just putting, I think there's a little clinic there. Now, here's where I realized, so I'm building out the desert right now. just a huge installation out in the desert. This road here is meant to be a highway. I changed the speed a little bit later on, so it's like highway speeds. I realized throughout the city, we are now getting the not enough goods for sale in our commercial, which is a problem. That means we don't have enough industrial, or we're not importing enough. Either way, we need more industrial. So I thought, okay, because the thing is, like the last number of episodes, we really have been expanding the offices, we've been expanding the housing and commercial, but not really any industrial. We haven't really done any industrial for a long time. And I was like, okay, we need a big space for this. So I thought, let's go to the middle of the desert. We'll do a big oil sort of drilling operation. So we're going to have oil rigs out there, and then the oil processing out there as well, and also some generic industry. So basically, we can mine the oil, then deliver that to our oil processing. Then they can deliver those goods to the regular industry and create goods. And then we're going to have a whole big like sort of train station out there as well to connect it to the rest of the region. That was the idea, and that's what we're doing now. So I'm just trying to create a little sort of interchange here to connect up to the highway that we already have. I don't normally keep these in the videos, but this one's here because why not? We haven't seen an interchange build for a little while. It's always takes ages. I don't know. I always take ages doing these, and I don't even know how happy I am with this one. Though, to be fair, I will spoil it. I do change it a little bit later on. Actually, I don't think I record the changing of this, though, because I redo it again entirely. I was like, okay, we don't need to watch it again. But we can watch the beginning of it, because it's nice. So I'm just using the mover to sort of adjust the curves, make them nice and smooth and as gentle as possible. It's just a whole process. It's a whole process. Maybe we should just do this live. Like, no. if I did this real time in a video, it would be like the entire like half hour. Probably more. I think the one I do later on, which I didn't record, I think that actually took like half an hour. No, not half an hour, probably more than that. I don't know how long it took. Anyway, I thought I'd sort of do these curves like with Move It, because it was a little bit easier than trying to use a tool directly. So just smoothing it all out there, getting a beautiful 3-way interchange there. And then I just use, basically I wanted to use like that 6-lane avenue road, because it's just so much easier than using 2 highway roads. Like you just drag out one road. It's beautiful. Then I did the sort of national speed limit. So like basically it's the fastest speed limit on that road. And I'm running out a second rail because we already have that other rail there as our passenger line. But I thought I'd run out the cargo line as well, because that makes a lot of sense, because we're going to have a huge industrial hub out here. So the great thing is, because we already have the passenger line out here, it's really easy to add a station for people to get out here. So we already have public transport, and we're just adding in the cargo line, so we have a huge way to transport the cargo. Then all we got to do is make sure that our traffic system is going to work here. So I tried out a few different things. At first I was going to have like this, so the main road is going to be split into those 2 one-way roads, and I was like, all right, let's do that. Then we'll have it split off into smaller roads, and then I was like, at this point I was like, this is starting to look like a huge grid, and I don't want it to look like a direct grid. And then I was like, oh yeah, I've got these giant roads, these huge roads that have trees and grass in it. So I thought maybe we could have almost this manicured sort of median strip in the middle of this huge road with 6 lanes going either way for the middle of the industrial area, because we're going to have so many trucks and all that kind of stuff running through here. And I thought, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use this, and we're going to have this split off into smaller and smaller avenues as you go. And then I was trying to connect it directly to the highway like this, and the reason I didn't like it is because you get like on the sides where it sort of dents in, like it sort of has like a weird like bell curve connection kind of thing, and it was just really annoying me. So I decided to use just a 6-lane road instead. I think it directly connected to. Actually, you know what? I think no, I won't do it right now. I was going to do it now. I think I almost need to get a road that has more than the 6 lanes. Not as wide as, because obviously that's a 12-lane road there, the one with the trees. But I would like maybe like an 8-lane road, or like because I think I've seen an 8-lane or maybe like a 12-lane that isn't as wide as that as well on the workshop. So I might have to check that out. Anyway, so the highway basically directly feeds into that, and then obviously you'd split out. And the reason I think I need more lanes is because we only have 3 lanes that go into this huge intersection right there at the start, and that does actually prove to be a little bit of a traffic nightmare later on. Oh, and I'm really upset. So I did two of these cargo stations here, but it's really annoying because they all just use the one. I was hoping they would use both, like depending on which one they're closer to, but they don't. They just like, hey, I'm going to use this one and not the one that I think I should, they only use one. And so because the idea was if I have 2, the traffic will split nice and evenly. But the idea was so wrong. But I think I'll keep the 2 anyway. Like I'll keep them both there, just for looks. So I think that it's nice to have a huge cargo sort of port hub type thing, but it doesn't really function. I don't know. Maybe I didn't connect the Oh, wait. Hold up. Is that actually it? I'm just looking at the rail now. See the rail that connects into that cargo station? I don't think it was actually connected. Oh my god. This is a live chat. Let me load up cities while I'm recording this and see if that's the issue. I was like, maybe I didn't connect the rail. And then I just see in the video, it's not connected. Anyway, so yeah, just sort of putting together that whole cargo hub area, which I think is pretty nice. I just wanted this area to be really robust because I know it's going to be all cargo. Well, not all cargo, all industrial. And there's some commercial here as well. There's not going to be any residential. Sorry, you just can't live out here. It's not a place to live. It's basically oil fields with processing and all that as well. So you probably wouldn't want to live here. I mean, we could do a little town a little further away, like a little further down the road or something. We do need to do some sort of almost Las Vegas style town in the desert somewhere with a casino strip. But I think we might do that on top of like the plateaus rather than down the bottom here. I don't know. Like I haven't fully decided where it's going to go just yet. Anyway, so I'm just doing all the roads now, trying to build them in a way that is going to create a good traffic flow. And it actually appears to work pretty well when it starts running in game. Like the traffic really doesn't actually back up too much, except for the cargo station. The cargo station's always going to be busy. I don't think there's really any way around that unless I can get the second one working and split the traffic, in which case if that does work, then that will help. But they're always going to be busy otherwise. But the way I've connected the roads and sort of fed the larger roads to slightly smaller roads and then smaller roads and smaller roads, like, just makes sense. Like, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do with road networks, which I don't always do anyway. All right, let me have a look. I've just loaded up my game. Where is... Oh, this map is huge. I always get lost. Oh, here we go. Let me have a look. Is it connected? Oh, it's not connected. I can't believe that. And I can't believe I only just realized that in the recording as well. And I spent like at least 2 hours working all this. Actually, no more, because I recorded 2 hours of it, but I didn't build for 2 hours. All right, so I've connected it in my game. I'm just going to have the game running now and see if people start using that one as well. All right, so I decided to do like these little one-way lanes to connect the cargo stations because I thought that'd be good because it sort of directs the traffic exactly where I want it to go. Because I don't like if you use like just a regular road, they'll sometimes just cut across a lane of traffic instead of like because there's no like I don't have that single median like that 2-lane median strip road that is in network extensions. So I figured if I do it this way, then they can't cut across traffic, oncoming traffic, and they have to go around. It's all one way. Actually, I think it works out quite nicely, except for the fact that we have so much traffic trying to use it. Anyway, so I'm dividing this up into 3 sections. As I mentioned earlier, 2 of them are oil. So one is the oil processing, and I'm just painting the resources down now. So you can see that area over there has all the oil resource under it, and then the other one does not. So basically everything that's there will be the oil processing, and then the one over the oil will be the oil drills, the oil wells, I guess, and that will all go there. And then the other section is just regular industry, so we can hopefully just process all the stuff that we end up making. At least that is the idea. Now, is my newly connected rail, is that working? Let me have a look. Oh my god, there's a train going to it. Okay, so if this starts working, then we're in good news. The weird thing is, like, I'm looking in game now, like, because we got this huge industrial area here. The people going to these cargo train stations are not from this industrial area. They're coming down the highway from somewhere else to put their goods on trains there. I think maybe what's happening is like goods from the region are coming here, putting them on the train, and then the train leaves the region. Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but look, the traffic kind of works, so. It's all good. Anyway, so I put in the passenger train station here, and you can see that it's on the other side of the rail, so we just have to do a little bridge to get over. And this actually works really well as well. Like, it ends up servicing the area really well. Like, a lot of people use that train to get here, because obviously there's a ton of people that are going to be working here. So they come through, and then I actually turn that into like a slightly faster road, so it's like 50 kilometers an hour versus the usual 40. So it ends up being quite a smooth flowing road. And also just do a little, I don't think I do it in the time lapse, but I add a couple of bus lanes to it, because we do like a bus line through this industrial area so people can get around, so they can get to the train station, get on a bus, get to wherever they work pretty easily. Also just do this pedestrian bridge over the rail so that pedestrians can walk across the other side very, very quickly, because otherwise they would have to go so far around, like on the road. Like, you can see how far they'd have to walk, but that gives them a much more direct route. I thought I'd do a little bit commercial over here as well, so when you arrive to the area, maybe you can just pick up a coffee or something, or just have a bite to eat, or go to a store. Just a few little little sort of commercial stuff. And also in that sort of, actually they're not on the main road. The main road that actually has no zoning because I did pathways either side of it because I didn't want trucks stopping on that main road and blocking traffic, which you'll notice always happens when there's commercial or any sort of building on a road. When a vehicle like pulls into it and then they just block all the traffic behind it, I was like, okay, the main road, we're not going to have any zoning. So it works a little bit smoother. Also, in my game right now, not in the time-lapse, in my actual game right now, both of the cargo stations are now working. And I think that's great news because that means hopefully the load of the traffic is actually split up instead. It definitely seems to be working a little bit smoother, which I really, really like. Which is good news for us. So at the moment in the time lapse, you can see I actually ended up doing this overpass because we had so many people trying to turn right to get to the cargo station because both of them weren't working was the issue. So I ended up doing this overpass so trucks would go up that and fly over the top. Although in my game right now, almost no one's using it, so I might end up getting rid of that. That was kind of just a quick fix to the area. But there's a lot of commercial demand right now, so we're adding, not commercial, residential, so we had to add some more residents. There is a bit more commercial demand as well. Oh, okay. So this right here, look at this traffic. It is ridiculous. All the cars are using one lane. All the trucks are using one lane. I was like, oh, maybe if I just widen it to 3, they'll use at least 2 lanes because I was like, maybe they don't want to be in the other lane because that's an exit lane and they don't like sitting in exit lanes. So I decided to widen it up and then I did all this lane management stuff. But basically an unprecedented issue or something I didn't expect being an issue building this new area is we have a hugely increased amount of traffic flowing through this highway. Like it literally added so much traffic to the network that it just came crawling. Like it basically came to a standstill. So what I did, and I don't know if we show it in this time lapse, I actually built an entirely new highway to service the area. And what I was saying earlier before about that interchange we were building and how I was going to change it, I changed it into a 4-way interchange because we continue the highway straight along. Because this whole area here, going over to the industrial and the traffic flowing through the city just cannot handle the way they merge as well is so annoying. Like the cars and that merge so incorrectly. I tried to fix it. I tried to fix it with the current highway because I mean realistically these highways should have enough capacity. The problem is the traffic merging and using one lane. You can see how there's like 2 lanes they could easily use but they don't. But anyway, so I changed that up. I didn't record anything like that because it actually took me ages to build the new highway and new interchange. I'll show you in the game in just a moment. We'll be jumping into the real time. But I'm adding a new road here just off of the highway as a quicker connection to the industrial cargo station, which is just here. So you can see I'm doing another ramp. So I think what I might do is end up keeping this ramp and get rid of the other one I built because now we have like 3 one-way roads fitting into the one, which is a good solution for the time being. But let's jump into the real-time gameplay and have a quick look at everything. Alrighty, so here we are in the game now, and you might notice it actually does look a little bit different as well from the time-lapse and also previous episodes. I was playing around with some of the graphics mods and seeing what looks cool and trying some different stuff. So it looks a little bit different. The lighting is a bit different because I don't know if I'm going to say settle on this kind of look. I'm still playing around with it. You can see it does all look slightly different. Also, I don't know if the frame rate is... I mean, the frame rate probably is slightly worse, although I think it's about the same. This game's always laggy anyway. Yeah, because I was playing around with the Ultimate Eye Candy like we had last season. Then I also have... some other mods as well. This one, and there's a bunch of mods. So I watched a video by Prez, I believe, that was just like, hey, use these mods to make your game look better. And I was like, hell yeah, this is a good video. I'll link it down below. Check it out if you play cities and you want to make your game look cooler. That's the best way I can describe it. He explains it so well. So I was like, oh, cool. All right, I'll check out those mods and play with them. Because I never really knew about half these mods. But I don't know, even like looking like this, it looks nicer, I think. I don't know, I might still tweak stuff. Anyway, so this is what I did. That wasn't recorded. So basically, so you guys remember, we had the original highway here running across this bridge, and then it sort of goes through, and then so we have this almost perimeter, or I guess circular highway around the outside of the city, which is great. The issue that we had with building this whole new industrial area is basically all this traffic would now go down this highway, then this highway didn't exist. So they'd come up here and then have to go through the city. So all the traffic had to go through the city, and it's already not, like, I mean, there's way less traffic now, you can see, because we've reduced the amount going through there. They'd have to go through the city to get anywhere. And it just seemed to make sense if we had a perimeter highway that also runs around here. So this one obviously tunnels under this mountain, comes out here to an interchange, then tunnels through this mountain. There's a 3-way interchange underground, which by the way, it's so ugly. I didn't try to make it look good because it's underground and we'll never see it. It's hideous. Like, it's really gross, but we're like literally never going to see it, so I don't mind about that. Like, if I do that all the time, I'm not happy with it, but just for this once, it's okay. So that goes underneath and sort of continues around. So basically, it gives a way for the traffic from this area to run straight forward, go through, and keep going. And then we have this huge like stack interchange here, which I think is okay for the most part. I don't know. Some of these might be. Oh, okay. Well, there's a pole there. So it's not. I didn't completely fine tune it, so apologies. I'll probably go back and sort of fine tune it a little bit. It took me ages though, because I did this all custom. I should have just used a pre-built one. It would have been a lot easier. Anyway, so that's all there. That sort of feeds back into this 6-lane road going down the way. That goes through there. So that really, really helps us out. Then I did a connection to this area, to North Sedona and Strawberry. We got this main road connecting through here, which was actually really interesting because originally I had connected up this road, but I didn't continue the highway through there. So then the traffic would sort of come here, come on this road, and then they would start using this little main road that I built, like I was talking about earlier in the time lapse, and they'd come down here. This looks really blue from this angle, doesn't it? Sorry, I just noticed that's super blue. It's better from this angle. They'd come down this road, and it actually worked really well. Like, we didn't actually have any traffic issues, but I was like, I mean, it just makes sense to connect that highway up through there. So I did that as well. And you can see, like, this whole area up here is now filled in, which is super, super nice. I think... Yeah, so actually I want to show you the trams as well. So, because that was all really done quickly in the timeline. So we have this tram here on this line. And it's sort of, we use those three-lane, one-way roads with the trams on it. So we still have the 2 lanes for traffic and then the 1 lane for trams. And I believe I disallowed other vehicles to use this lane unless they're turning left, I think, or something like that. So that trams can sort of get through, no worries. And then they sort of split off that main road here, which is still really annoying. I hate how the trams have to cross over the traffic. If I could have had them all on the inside lane, it would be better, but there's not really a way to do that unless someone makes that road. Now, what's really cool is I downloaded this tram road, which actually has 4 tram stops on it, which is perfect because we have 2 different tram lines using this area. If we have a look at this, because now that I've also colored them, I can see it a bit better. So we have this green tram line that is the one running from North Sedona through Strawberry, sort of crosses over this yellow tram line, which the yellow one is the one heading into New Sedona City. You can see that it goes all the way to the central station of the city down over there. So these two actually cross over at this point, so we have this little tram hub almost, and then the green one continues on, then goes across this bridge. I actually upped the speed limit of the trams on this bridge, I think to 70 maybe? No, 100. So the trams actually accelerate over here, so they go the same speed as the highway. Around the corner I slowed it down a little bit though. So they go a little bit slower there, and then they get to this point, and then they just fang it, and they like floor it. So that's the tram there, 83 out of 120 people. Quite a lot of people use it. There's still people using the trains as well, which is good. 136 on that one, 150. So it hasn't made the trains useless, which I'm really, really happy about, because I really hate adding new public transport and then making the other ones defunct and useless. So that is really nice. I actually really enjoy this tram line, as well, like bridging over the highway here. I think it, I don't know, it flows really nicely through the area. But it goes up through there, like I said, and sort of comes out this way. So that actually ended up really, really working. What else did I do? I don't know that I did much else, really. I think that was kind of all the stuff. Like, I mean, the big change from the timelapse was this highway that I had to build in. I mean, even here, they'll still use 1 lane. It's so bloody annoying. Yeah, because we had so much traffic, so we had to do that. Anyway, so out of here, I guess I'll show you this area. Like, when I was testing, they now use both of these. Look at this. Though we're clearly having a little bit of a snafu here. I think it might be a good idea to almost have a left-hand turn that doesn't need to go through those lights, or always allow left turns. So I might actually grab out... We got a lot of traffic waiting there that probably doesn't need to wait there. Like, it's just a lot of people wanting to turn left. So what if we go like this? But we go like this. And then, I really wish I didn't make the road look like that, but it's fine. Okay, so then this goes forward. This will also go forward, but it does turn left. This one cannot turn right, and that will go like this. So then that's just a quick way to get over there without having to go through a set of traffic lights. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just say, oh, actually, no, I guess you should still be allowed to turn left there because there's a shop there. So if you need to get to that, you'd have to turn left there. Anyway, I'll zone that back in, and also that. Then I would like to do, well, I'd like to change the speed limit on this because sometimes they might be like, oh, if it's 50 and 40 this way, it might be quicker. So I'm going to turn that to 40 on that. So that should see some people hopefully using this slip lane. There you go, to turn left and just get that traffic off the road. I do love that they are actually using all 3 lanes here though, which is almost unprecedented in City Skylines. It does almost seem like I need to control the traffic a little bit more manually here, because the problem is, like, people are using the lanes and it works quite nicely, but the problem is whenever these two start going, they're trying to cut across each other all the time. I think we need to have dedicated turning signals, which the game doesn't do automatically for us, which is kind of annoying. They are actually, and I really like this road as well, like it is a 6-lane one-way. They do use almost all the lanes. You saw there's a couple empty, but they use a lot of the lanes. More than you'd expect in cities. Normally they like to use one, but it turned out quite well. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of this. There are people still using it, but I think there's far less. That truck is like trying to stay on it. There's far less people using it than I think we need to have it anymore. Like we used to just have a right-hand turn there, which is fine. So we'll do that, and then this one sort of comes across. It's a little weird now because it was sort of trying to accommodate for the other ramps. I might fix that up, but seems to be working quite well. Yeah, so this is a little bus lane here. You can see a bunch of people getting to the area. Like a lot of people waiting for the bus. I think, why are these buses like next to each other as well? What is going on? Hang on. Stuck in move it and bulldoze mode. Wait, why am I still in move it? Go away. Oh no. I hate when I get stuck there. Okay. Well, what mode am I in? I can't click on anything. Oh my god. Let me do that and then get out of it. Hang on. There we go. Alright, now I can click on stuff. Yeah, a lot of people use that sort of pathway there, which is really, really nice. So I think there's a little bit of a worker shortage through here, but it's not too bad. But you can see we have a huge amount of, not industrial, residential demand. So I think also, when did this become transparent? This bar down the bottom. Must be a mod. I don't know. I downloaded a lot of mods, like just graphic mods. I think we need to just add some more residential around the place. So I might actually just quickly add some more up here, because this is kind of the area that I'm expanding at the moment. And have been expanding, and it seems to work just fine. So we'll just add a little bit more here. I don't know what we'll do next episode, but like the last few episodes have obviously just been about expanding our residential because we needed to. I think I'll join up to the road here somewhere. I think what I'll do is I'll get out a straight road. We'll go here. Do I want to do that? I think I do want to do that. Yeah, nice. Then I actually want to turn off traffic lights here because I don't think we're going to need it. We'll do that. And we'll just say, these guys just give way to that road. That should be fine. So that'll go there. And then this actually leaves a lot of room for more sort of parks and that, which I think we really need to get back onto doing more parks. Like, this area is actually really good for parks. Also because it's right near industrial, so I think we should probably almost overcompensate with parks because it's kind of gross just nearby. I'm going to put that there. Then I think I actually just want to add a bunch of trees in this area. Just have a little treescape. Treescape? I don't know. Tree park, forest, trees, nature. There you go. Look at that. It's beautiful. Not that tree. This is actually a very green part of our city. Like it's very, like there's a lot of stuff going on here. Like I almost want to have so many trees that it's like because this is gonna I don't want a zone on this road, by the way. I want to keep this as just a main road with no buildings on it. So I almost want to have like parkland next to it on both sides as like a little buffer. And that's kind of what we're doing here. Like I said, I want to have a lot of trees there. That's the idea. So it's like that. Like the zoning obviously starts here, but I think from this point backward, I don't want any zoning. Like we'll have intersections in that, but we'll keep it pretty clean for the most part. Now I think I want to get out because oh god, this is a long road that doesn't connect to anything. I think we need to connect it. Maybe we'll connect it through that crossing there because that will be a good point. That should be fine. And then I'll also just get out a pathway and that will go on the ground. And I think if we just get rid of that, go straight through there. That'll probably be fine. Beautiful. All right, so that'll go there and then we'll add in a little crossing there. Nice. And then I think this will mostly be, we'll do commercial up this end, I think. Hang on. We'll do commercial like here and there. And then maybe here, and then like this side of the pathway, we'll leave a little bit of a gap, and then this side can be residential because there's also a lot of commercial demand, but also a lot of residential demand. So we'll get that in. Now I don't think I want these to be too big because it's like on a pretty steep cliff. Like that's pretty steep. So I think I want to keep these pretty small in terms of like the depth of the building because it gets quite steep. Then this one can be full size, a little bit smaller there, all through there. So that should be quite good. Actually, I don't know what's okay, we got water through here. I don't know what the water situation was. Not up there, though. I guess we should probably just go through and end up just covering all that in. Already, looking good. So this is basically what I was doing on the time lapse, is just adding more and more houses everywhere. This should hopefully help our... do I want to do residential here? I think I will. I think I'll go here though. And then maybe we can get a... Can we get that dog parking? Because I haven't used a dog park in a while. And I think it's pretty good. It's a little bit bigger, so I'll put it there. Nice. So that's also... Like, this area is super nice. We've got the school right there, which is great. We should have pretty good... Like, it's really nice. Like, I like that this road is pretty well trafficked. Like, it's not completely empty, but it's not, like, oversaturated with cars. If we have a look at the traffic flow in the city, thankfully, we still have a traffic flow of 78%, which is pretty much what we've been hovering around the entire time. It's like 77, 78, 76 around there. You should have seen it, though, when this was backed up. That dropped down to, like, 60-something, because it was just not going anywhere. How's this going now, by the way? This actually seems pretty good. This actually seems to almost be an even split now. Like, you can see, like, the amount of trucks that are sort of trying to get to the area is about the same. Actually, these guys here, I need to, so you can enter that intersection. Because you can queue across that. I think we could probably use a few more lanes here, though, because I think there's people turning left and right, yeah. So we'll actually get this guy here, turn it the other way, there you go. So they can use both lanes to just decide where they're going. There you go. Because then we just fit a few more trucks in there. You can see they're getting stuck trying to leave, which is never... If we're getting vehicles stuck, it's not a good thing. Maybe actually what we should do... No, why don't we get 2 lanes all the way along from that point forward? And then... Put that there. Right, then I'm going to have to do some lane magic, because otherwise they're going to try swapping lanes and not use 2 lanes all the way. Now, I don't believe they would ever need to... turn this way to go back again, but I will allow them to. So we'll go here, and I'll also allow it to turn that way if you want for some reason. And then, okay, so now they have to pick their lane basically when they come out. They pick it here. And we should get them basically filling up both lanes and fitting essentially twice the amount of traffic in the same area. And try and hopefully, like, as long as we don't back up to the exit of that. Because this one's really good because you have a huge amount of space to get to the road. This one actually gets to the road pretty quickly, so I don't know if I would want to change that. But it seemed like... it also is a bit annoying that they basically crash into each other here, and I don't know that I can solve that, really. What if I do it there a little bit more? See, now these guys just come further. I hate that. That actually happens a lot. See... Oh, wait, no, that one seems to be what... I don't know what you're doing. I mean, look, if it works, I'm okay with it. So most of them are turning left. Where are they going? That's always a good question, because then you can figure out what you actually need to do. Oh, whoops, hang on. Get out of that mode. Are they going... I think they're going this way to get back to the highway. Is that what they're doing? A lot of them go left, come around here, and get into the highway. I almost don't want them to do that. I'd prefer them to go right and then go this way. Like, I mean, I don't know why they prefer that way. Maybe because... If we have a look at the speed limits. So this is all 50. This is also 50, but I think we have 1, 2... I don't know, like... I'm not really sure why they prefer that way. That almost seems like it'd be longer to go this way. You go through 1, 2, 3, 4 intersections to get to the same point, whereas this is only a few. Maybe if I up the speed limit on this section, they'll start going this way instead. Let's try that, instead of going left. And then this is all 60 through here as well, which is faster. I don't know, we'll see, because I don't know why they're preferring that way. Because it just means we have a lot of cars sitting in one lane trying to go left. I mean, the other thing is we could do is just have a straight road there to connect directly to it and not have them go through that way, which also would cut down on the traffic a lot. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave this part here. Let me know what you think of this whole area, because this kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't planning on doing it. The reason I did it was because we had a goods shortage in the city and we needed industrial. And there's still a lot of room to zone here, so they're slowly building up over time. Like, this area had to exist, essentially. And I thought an oil town in the middle of nowhere could be good. But I'm thinking... So what I was thinking about doing for the sort of Las Vegas type city... I think we were talking about doing it down here originally, but it's not going to happen anymore. Like, it could either be up here. Like, we have all this desert space up the top, so maybe along here somewhere. Like, we got a lot of room for it. It's just not going to be down the bottom, so... And I don't think there's really any room for it down here, because most of this isn't really desert. I mean, there's a little bits of desert here and there, but... yeah. So the city area, you can see, we're pretty much going to grow the city to fill in, I think, most of these gaps around the greenery. We'll have to grow up maple as well. But yeah, I think for the sort of casino city or town, I guess it'll be a mini city because it will have to be kind of big. It'll be like out here somewhere. Because you got the oil over here. It's also kind of nice having the oil there because it's almost hidden from the map, like you don't see it. Which I thought was also good because it's like on the other side of a mesa at the bottom. Like it's, you know, it's away from the population, which is quite good. Anyway, I'm going to leave this part here. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. And I'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, let me know what you think about the visual as well. I think I need to play around with it a little bit more. Let me know in the comments. And check out the video as well about the graphics mods. That was cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. And have an awesome day.